Some more investigations into the Activision Blizzard and Xbox deal. 343 makes a huge hire that I think will help bring the game back on track. Finally, PlayStation 5 owners get the announcement they've been waiting for, and Mutant gets a pretty big next-gen upgrade. We have some more news on the Xbox and Activision Blizzard acquisition. As like I've said previous times, this is going to continue to happen until this deal closes, as we get closer to that June 2023 date, where we are expecting that to be the deadline for this deal to close. Now, we've already had a ton of stuff come out about it. The most recent thing was the Communication Workers Association of America, who had said they now approve the deal for Xbox to get Activision Blizzard, because they are going to be staying neutral in terms of if employees want to create a union once that merger is finalized. Whereas previously they had some big issues with the deal. And I mean, at the end of the day, they obviously have things that they want to get done. They want things to go their way. So they're going to say they get issues until whatever happens, where Microsoft agrees to some of the terms that they are looking for in order to make sure that this deal goes through. But now we have this, and this is coming via the UK's competition watchdog, as they are going to be investigating this deal. And the competition watchdog is the Competition and Markets Authority, and they put out a statement to CNBC saying that they would consider whether the deal could harm competition and lead to worse outcomes for consumers, for example, through higher prices, lower quality, or reduced choice. Now, those are three things that I would say as a consumer you should definitely be wary of whenever there's these big acquisitions that are happening. But as of right now, the way that Activision Blizzard is being run, I would say they are giving us higher prices, because the Call of Duty games, especially if you want that cross-generation deal, is the higher $10. In terms of lower quality, I would argue that, hey, I mean, the Activision Blizzard games, whether you like them or not, are pretty decent quality. I don't really know that I wouldn't really consider them low quality. I mean, you look at Call of Duty, the gameplay is fun, the graphics are really, really good. You look at games like Diablo, games like Overwatch, I mean, those are all pretty high quality games. StarCraft, even though we haven't had a new StarCraft game since StarCraft 2, very high quality games. So I don't know about the lower quality thing, but I don't see quality falling off once it goes to Microsoft. Or reduced choice is a third thing on this list. And I would say Activision Blizzard has definitely given gamers who are a fan of their IPs reduced choice, as majority of their studios now literally just work on Call of Duty. And I think if this deal goes through to Xbox, Phil Spencer's already talked about wanting to reach into that back catalog. So I would say when this deal closes, when it does go through, it will be giving gamers more choice. So out of those three things here, I don't think there's really anything they're going to be able to find in terms of being able to say that this is going to affect consumers. I mean, lower price, obviously not, because games are going to be going right into Xbox Game Pass. Lower quality, definitely not. And then reduced choice, I don't think so as well, like I said, as Xbox plans to jump into the back catalog. Now, for this investigation, they are going to be running a consultation until July 20th, and then they're going to try to get feedback from third parties with any interest in the deal. And then they're going to have a deadline up until September 1st to give their initial decision on the matter. And this is just joining the FTC and conducting their antitrust review based on unfair competitive advantages that would be provided to Microsoft if this deal was to go through. I don't foresee this stopping the deal whatsoever. I don't really foresee anything coming out of this. It just, to me, seems like the natural process of a huge acquisition like this, a $68.7 billion deal. And we've also heard previously from Microsoft that the deal is going faster than they think. So if the deadline for all of this to happen is by September 1st, let's say they take all the way up to September 1st to make their decision, a lot of people are saying that this deal could close before the end of the year if nothing is found. And we'll have to wait and see how all that goes down. But fingers crossed, because I think it would be a huge announcement for 2022 for Xbox if they could close this deal and then come out and, although they don't have a big first party game, just give a huge drop of Activision Blizzard games into Xbox Game Pass, which a ton of people would be happy about. So since the launch of Halo Infinite, it has been one of those games that has really split the community, has really gotten people to not have faith in 343, but then also recognize that the core gameplay that is there for Halo Infinite is top notch. It is a ton of fun. I still go back and play Halo Infinite every single week. I was just playing it the other day again, and I still really find the game enjoyable and a ton of fun to play. But the biggest issue right now, I would say, with Halo Infinite and 343 is being able to create a good games as a service product where people want to continue to play every single day. People want to jump back in so that community continues to grow and has high numbers of people playing all the time. The biggest issue right now is just having more content, getting more enticing things for people to want. And then I would say overall, just the leadership of 343 and making sure that things are prioritized properly. I mean, this is something we saw last week with the actual lag with the melee that was, to me, a huge priority to be worked on and to be fixed instantly. And we heard 343 come out and say that it had been kind of pushed back and they are going to work on it and it should be ready in the next couple of months. But this is something that's been plaguing the game for a while, and you would think something within the gameplay that really does affect the overall experience of the game would be something that you want to fix first. So all of the negative stuff in terms of 343 running Halo Infinite as a games as a service, I think, has brought the game down, but the core gameplay is there and there's so much potential. I always say look back at Halo the Master Chief Collection when that first came out, just the debacle that was. Not that Halo Infinite is anywhere near the debacle that the Master Chief Collection was, because I mean, you could still easily get into games all the time. There's no problem. People always say the numbers are so low and it's hard to find games, which I don't believe to be true at all, because whenever I jump onto Halo Infinite, I'm finding games almost instantly. But we have some good news here that I think will help with the leadership and the direction and getting Halo Infinite going to the place that the community wants it to be. And that is that they have hired the former Bungie director, Paul Bertone. Now, he is going to be hired as the technical design director, which will be used to bridge the gap between design and programming. And why this hiring is so big is because Paul previously worked at Bungie and worked on 5 Halo games before leaving to go work with other developers like Undead Labs, as well as working on Destiny. Now, there was a tweet here from Joseph Staden saying, "I'm happy to confirm veteran Paul Bertone has joined the team as studio technical director. Paul and I met in 1999 back in Bungie's Chicago days and then shipped Halo 1 to 3, ODST, and Reach together. I'm thrilled to have Paul help lead the future of Halo Infinite." So I think this is great news. I think he's going to be able to help bring direction, bring his previous experiences with working on the Halo franchise to the current team that is there. Obviously, him and Joseph have worked very closely together over the Halo franchise. They know exactly what the community wants. They know exactly how to make this game great. I think right now, like I said, it's just really honing in their skills of making this a great games as a service game, which he's going to bring that experience over from working on Destiny, because you see how good that game is. You see how they have had the longevity with Destiny 2 where people are still playing it every single day and they still want to play it. They bring out new content that gets people excited, to get them to jump back into the game and then spend hours and hours that they may have not done if it was not run properly. So I think that's going to be extremely important going forward for the future of Halo Infinite, and I hope they can get this thing completely on track. And I know a lot of people bash Halo Infinite. I have lost a little bit of faith in 343 in terms of running it based off of some of the things that we have seen lately. But like I said, the game is still a ton of fun. I still play it every single week, and there's still a huge community that enjoys playing Halo every single week. They just really got to fine tune this thing to make sure that it is something similar to the lines of Destiny, where that's more of a looter shooter, but you can still take some of those same concepts and maybe, hey, even add some of those concepts into the campaign for Halo Infinite, because that's going to be a huge thing going forward for me specifically, and for a lot of people, is how are they going to expand on the actual campaign of Halo Infinite? How are they going to continue to add content so people want to jump back in and play the expansions that should be coming to it? So the day has finally come after fanboys went absolutely nuts on social media, causing hell and sending inappropriate pictures to the developers. And that date is, we finally got the official launch date for God of War Ragnarok, which is going to be November 9th, 2022. Now, what they did was they put out a CG trailer. They put out this blog post. They announced that the game is coming on November 9th for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And you can see the 30-second trailer here. They really don't show off too much. It is pure CGI, no gameplay, which I think is completely fine. I mean, if you're a fan of the God of War franchise, you're a fan of this series, you played the one that came out in 2018, you know it's going to be similar, you know it's going to be very high quality, and you're waiting for this game. You probably don't want anything to be ruined. So this CGI trailer, I think, does justice for people who are waiting for the launch date and are waiting to play God of War Ragnarok. And in terms of God of War, I mean, you think about the series, you think about the franchise. It's not one of those games where you have to have a massive marketing campaign to get people interested in it. Once it's released, people are running out to buy it. All they really need to do is let people know when the game is going to be available, which is what they did here with this quick blog post. Now, on top of that, they also showed off a bunch of different editions of the game and did an unboxing of the collectors and Jotnar, however you want to say it, editions for God of War Ragnarok. So we'll go down here. You have the launch edition. You have the digital deluxe edition, which also comes with a Dark Horse digital mini art book plus some other digital content. You have the collector's edition, which has, I think, the showcase for all of these editions, which is the hammer here in the game. Really cool looking, really cool hammer. They unboxed it, and I mean, you can see the detail in it. It looks like it's pretty high quality. It looks like it could be decently heavy, which is whenever you get these types of things within collector's editions, you get a statue. When you take it out of the box, to me, the most important thing is the detail on it, and then the quality of the materials used. Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it cheap plastic? All that type of stuff. Because I find a lot of these collector's editions, once they're announced, the statues and the pictures look really cool, and then when you get them, they're pretty cheap. But hopefully this isn't one of those things. Then you have down here the God of War Jotnar edition of the game, which comes with everything in the collector's edition, like the dice, the carvings, the steel book, the additional digital content, but also has a ring, a cloth map, some pins, and I think the biggest addition to this will be the 7-inch vinyl record. So some pretty cool stuff here. Not gonna lie, these editions look really awesome. They look like they are ones that if you're a fan of the game, you will enjoy. They go on sale July 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have a feeling they are going to fly off the shelves and go very fast. So if you want one of these, make sure to be up and make sure to be ready to purchase it on July 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, during the same day that God of War Ragnarok got announced, another PlayStation 5 and PC timed exclusive game, Forspoken, got delayed. Now, this is really interesting because this comes, like, I guess as a coincidence that they're delaying it, but they put out this statement saying, as a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to January 24th, 2023. All game elements are now complete and development is in its final polishing phase. We would like to thank you for your continued support and patience on this journey. Your excitement for the game inspires us every day, and we cannot wait to share more about Forspoken with you late this summer. Now, who knows why they announced this on the same day that God of War got announced, because this game is supposed to be coming out, or was supposed to be coming out in October. So that would have given people an entire month to pick it up and play it before God of War Ragnarok comes out. But hey, maybe they were looking at that and thinking it wasn't enough time, and they didn't want to be anywhere near that release window, as that's going to be the main game for the holiday. So they're pushing it to January 24th. We go through here in the comments and people's reaction for this person here saying, I lost interest in this game a long time ago. You have to do what's best for the game, and I hope no one bashes this game for your decision. We'll have God of War Ragnarok doing the heavy lifting this holiday, so do what's best for your game. This person says, Sony asked you to move the game, kind of funny, but take your time. I hope it will help you to make this game better. Good choice. This holiday is pretty packed. Very good move. Ragnarok is coming and will cook this and all the other games releasing alongside it, pushing it to 2023 to allow God of War to mop the competition is a very strategic move. Now, all of these comments are all pretty much referring to God of War and them taking up the time for the holiday season over every single other game. And honestly, I kind of agree. That's going to be the main game people are talking about and playing during the holiday season in 2022. But here's another thing. Forspoken, if it wasn't a timed console exclusive, it was coming out onto Xbox at the same time, would they have still delayed it? Or would they have thought that, hey, maybe this will be the big game that goes multi-platform, so we're going to get lots of sales across everything, because they would still be releasing a month before God of War, and they wouldn't be missing out on people from Xbox wanting to play it and wanting to buy it. I mean, when you're only holding it to PlayStation 5, most people, if they have to choose between Forspoken and God of War, they're going to go ahead and play God of War. Its game has already been delayed a couple of times, so maybe there is more to it. Maybe they're just having trouble getting this thing polished and ready to go for release. But we'll wait and see. It's not a huge delay. It's only until January 24th, 2023. It'll most likely be in its own time slot compared to anything else coming out, unless say Starfield decides to release in January as well, but we don't know the date for that yet. So Forspoken delayed until January 24th, 2023. And just another game update. This is for Mutant. If you haven't played this game, this is a third-person action RPG where you play as a customizable kind of animal-looking character, and it's a pretty fun game. You're trying to like restore the tree of life in the world. I played through it. It's all right. It's nothing that blew me away. Combat was pretty fun. Graphics were pretty cool. There's definitely a great concept here for this game. I had fun playing through it. But right now, Mutant is coming to Xbox Series X and S as a free next-gen upgrade. Now, in terms of what the update is going to have, you're going to have a quality mode, a quality unleashed mode, and a performance mode for both the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. The quality mode, 4K 60 on the X, 1440p 30 on the S. Quality unleashed is 4K with unlocked frame rates, so 50 to 60 on the X, and then 1440p with, again, 50 to 60 FPS on the S, and then performance is 1440p 60 on the X and 1080p 60 on the S. Now, this is definitely a welcomed upgrade. I played through it just with the regular version of the game. It looked fine. It played okay, but there was definitely some issues there with frame rate stuttering, and the quality of it just wasn't really up to par as you would expect on something on like the Series X or the Series S. So definitely a welcomed free upgrade to the game. I believe right now it is like $40 or something if you want to jump in to the next generation version of it once it releases on September 6th. But if you've already played the game, you already have it, you just get this upgrade for free. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Activision Blizzard deal on God of War and the release date and the different additions. Are you going to be jumping into Mutant with the next gen upgrade? And what do you think about the investigation by the UK into the Activision Blizzard deal? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.